Truckers X TV on air. We are now live in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney Spirit of Justice. In the previous episode, it was Prosecutor Nayuta Samadi's testimony. And then we're trying to free him from the chains of his father's sins. And we're trying to find a way that we can free him. But now, what is the source of the new information of the case 23 years ago? What do I have? What do I got? It's either the assassination file or the photo. That's all I can think of. What other picture of my biological photo? New information. Oh, he had someone sent over to the other place, so there's no other choice but the freaking this.
Take that!
No. That is not it. 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 What did I just thought of? Okay, we gotta strike down. We gotta strike. We gotta freaking strike. What other trials here are a little different than the ones back home. So things that wouldn't be considered evidence back there can have a... With that in mind, why don't you take a good look at the court record again? I left for me? Wait! Apollo, trials here are a little different than the ones back home, so things that wouldn't be considered evidence back there can have a huge impact on the case here.
Take that!
Well, so much for that theory.
Such insolence!
Well, so much for that theory. So much for that theory. I was thinking that if she had the Founder's Orb, it would be setting off fire. But no, that was not it. That was not it. What am I looking at right now?
Take that!
Huh? That was actually the right idea? Wow. Like, really, I was taking the photograph, but Dirk was the one that stated that he had a guy that went during those 2 decades, he had a guy that sent over to Europe or so, and then he was able to make his way back with the photograph, so what's the point? We now have 3 strikes. Yes! Oh, wrong voice. Yes, do you recall the traveling musician who died in that fire 23 years ago? How could anyone forget such a painful chapter in our history? The poor fellow was caught up in the blaze that was meant for Queen Amara. We never knew his identity though, as his belongings were burnt to ashes. Well, about that, the truth is, he was my biological father. Oh! What? Why, of course, with his photo and benevolence. Exactly. We might be able to prove Dirk completely innocent, and that would free her from the infamy of having criminal blood in her veins. Because here in Khura'in, we can witness the final memories of the dead. We can? What utter nonsense! There was no evidence left in the wake of that blaze! That's what you think. But Dirk went to the ends of the earth to bring this little souvenir back for us. He did? Like I said, the photo was like the only thing I could think of, but my first guess was the assassination book, and then back to freaking Phoenix Wright saying about the burning blaze of the tower. I'm like, hey, Founder's Orb, the tower burning in flames, the freaking orb will melt, and we get the freaking the Holy Mother's face and all that. Since we're back in America, that's how we found out. But then, if you're answering a freaking test, always pick the first guess. He did. Yep, and boy is it the best piece of evidence ever. He knew that with it, we'd finally be able to conclusively settle this matter here in court, and save his children. Your Majesty, the fans request that we hold a divination sentence for this new victim. We have 3 strikes. What a waste of time! The events of 23 years past have already been deliberated at length.
Objection!
But wasn't Dirk on trial for that incident as well today? So we wouldn't be doing our jobs if we failed to look into this new lead, would we? This is not processing at all. As a presiding judge, I would now share my thoughts of this matter. The attempted assassination of Queen Amara is a case we can ill afford to leave open. I believe that the final memories of the victim will prove to be very important. Therefore, it is the opinion of this court that we should conduct another divination seance. Why you? Your benevolence? If you knew the full name of the victim seen in this photo, you'd be able to perform the divination seance, right? Of course, leave it to me. Thank you. My father's full name is Jove Justice. Alright. Oh, Holy Mother, we are skipping this scene again. Please commence the divination seance when you're ready. Oh, Holy Mother, we are skipping this no matter what. Let us press on forward with this. Even this may be the last one. Then, whatever. Let's skip. Whoa. Burning? Heat? Crying? The baby? Pain? He was killed by someone? The baby! So that's how the baby was kidnapped! The lighter? Pain? Crying? The lighter? What the heck? I mean, I could use Jove Justice's photo or this divination seance as a thumbnail right here, because this is completely blind right here. The spirit of the victim has granted us a window into his final moments. It would appear the divination seance was a success. So those were my father's final moments. That baby we saw must have been you, Apollo. Oh yeah! Oh yeah, that's right. He brought his baby into Khura'in, and then Dirk took him with him too, and raised him as his own. I was saying it was freaking Rafa. I will now decipher the experience of the disease. Are you ready, your hornhead? Yes, please proceed. Her insights. Very well. Here are my interpretations of the facts as gleaned from the seance vision. Better be on my side, woman. Rafa's insight. Someone attempted to assassinate the queen by setting her residence ablaze. Hornhead's father happened to stop by and was knocked out by the assassin. Dirk's fingerprints were discovered on the lighter found at the scene of the crime. That is how he was determined to be the assassin. Hornhead's father tried to save his son, but sadly he perished in the attempt. Will you stop calling him Hornhead for this? That is everything that the disease experienced in his final moments. My father's final memories. They're right here for everyone to see, but can any of them unlock the truth behind what happened 23 years ago? We will see on what happens. Let's review how this works. Burning, heat, he feels the heat. Burning, what was burning? Crying, the baby, the crying. Baby's crying. Oh, poor, cute little Apollo. Pain, crying, pain. He dropped. Oh, that's a hard drop then for the baby. What is that? Go back over there. The reflection of. I'm seeing some weird reflection right there. But what? Was it the murder weapon? We see something. Metallic sound. That was the lighter. Burning, heat, crying, the baby, then burning again, pain, someone hit him, and that was a hard drop. The metallic sound. Okay, really, the divination stance is not really my thing right now. Someone attempted to assassinate Queen Amara by setting her residence ablaze. Her Hornhead's father happened to stop by and was knocked out by an assassin. Dirk's fingerprints were discovered on the lighter found at the scene of the crime. And the metallic sound just happened to flew over there. That is how the assassin, he was determined to be an assassin. Hornhead's father tried to save his son, but sadly he perished in the attempt. Someone attempted to assassinate Queen Amara by setting her residence ablaze. Dirk's fingerprints were discovered of the lighter found at the scene of the crime. Hornhead's father happened to stop but was knocked out by the assassin. Huh. Go back there, because that is something I cannot fully see. Can we have something zoom in, please? Because I can't tell. Okay, how was he killed off? Okay, he was standing? Okay. And then whatever that was, it's a mirror to something. We need a clear image, though.
Objection!
Freaking hell! How many times do I have to click it to make it right? My god. Really, it's just... what keyframe do I have to click on? Dirk's fingerprints were discovered on the lighter that was found at the scene of the crime. However... the hand holding the lighter in the seance vision appears to be a glove. Ah, I believe you are right. What could this mean? It calls this question into question whether the hand in the vision really was Dirk's. If only we can make it out the details a little better. Very well, I will attempt to focus a bit more on the disease saw. Perhaps that will help refine a seance vision. Make it clearer, woman. What is that? It does seem that there was a glove on that hand. Now, back at this again. Still, what significance could that have? It means that Dirk's fingerprints got on the lighter at some other time. Somebody could have even put them there after the fire. All you have is pure speculation, while the fact remains that they are his fingerprints. Therefore, it stands to reason that Dirk was the one who used the lighter.
Objection!
It just means I have to prove that the figure in the vision is someone else. Using the information in my father's final memories. What the heck? Two V's in the sentence? Come on now. Either way, it seems that we must revise my insights. Here we go again. But if someone had put his print on the lighter after the fact, then we know not to whom it belongs to. Okay, back at it again. Okay, let's see what's up. Okay, anything new? Burning, burning, burning. Anything clear? Crying, baby, crying. What did I just do? The hand was there. What is that? That's a hand. But if someone had put his prints on the line on the fact, then we know to whom it belongs. Wait.
Objection!
Wait, then this means that the real culprit is... The figure in this vision is clearly not Dirk. The distinctive band around his wrist gives their true identity away. Why is she affected by this? That design, it can't be. This will prove just whose hand was captured in the seance vision. Wait, before I show it. Before I show it right now, there's no other possibility. That armband. That specific armband.
Take that!
That photo! So you do believe the culprit to be... Justice Minister Inga had cuffs with the exact same pattern on them. You're referring to the cuffs of justice, correct? Yes, I hear they're a traditional part of the Khura'inese Justice Minister attire. But what does this tell us? It tells us that the figure in this vision is none other than Khura'in's late Minister of Justice, Inga Khura'in. No! Not my father! We found out that he was not your father. So he plotted the assassination of the former queen as well as the current one? Hold it! Who's calling it? Neyuda? What you've proposed is not possible, Apollo. For back then, Inga Khura'in was not the Minister of Justice. What? The Justice Minister 23 years ago was... You, Queen Garan! What? That's right. Oh, right. She served as the Minister of Justice before succeeding the throne. I guess she also prosecuted the assassination attempt 23 years ago as one. So then, the figure in this vision is actually... Your Eminence, it's you, isn't it? This is madness! Why would Her Eminence do such a thing? Because she would ascend to the throne. She wanted to usurp the throne from her sister Amara. That's why she tried to assassinate her. That's what I've been saying since 10 episodes ago. I find this all very hard to swallow. Your Eminence, are you the one responsible for tearing my family apart? And what is it you who killed my father? Well, Your Eminence, I'm asking you a question!
Insolence!
Peasants. Always carrying on about things of no importance. You do not deny it then. You conceal the truth and use me for your own designs. Oh, Neyuda, spare me your feeble-minded line of questioning. Even if Dirk were cleared of all charges, it shall still be I who decides Rafa's fate. You do wish for her to be queen someday, do you not? Remember, the child lives only by my good grace. Now, kneel before me and fulfill your end of the bargain by offering me your head. Your Eminence, I am done heeding your commands. Even as you used my sister against me, I still believed you. I believed that protecting your secrets was in the best interest of this kingdom. But you have been deceiving me all the while. Nayuta! Nayuta, you dare defy me? Your Eminence, I can turn the other cheek no more. Therefore, I hereby retract my confession of the murder of Justice Minister Inga. Retract, you say? Dirk, the final piece of evidence you left behind, has released Nayuta from his suffering, and now he's finally free. In all this time, not once did I reflect on my own conduct, for I believe all was fate. Lost in my own sense of resignation, I was unable to wake from my despair. But you, Apollo, you have awakened me with your demonstration of your father's creed. What is that? Whoa!
The dragon never yields.
Did I just miss a most important part? I will carry on Dirk's legacy and fulfill his dream. Hear me, Khura'in. I will cast you down from your bloody throne. Long live the revolution! Insolent fool! Now even you prattle on about a revolution. Would you look at that? Well, Apollo, it seems we're finally making some headway down the road that Dirk carved for us. Yeah. Now, if we could just prove Khura'in's guilt, we could continue on down that road towards the revolution Dirk dreamed of. Your Eminence! You have been accused of the crime committed 23 years ago. Would you like to say anything in your defense? Not so fast, Your Majesty. What the cups could have been stolen and used without my knowledge, so you see they can hardly be considered proof of anything. Why, I believe you're right. But we know she's guilty. Well, lawyer, is there anything other evidence you would have me refute? Unfortunately, this photo was the last piece of evidence Dirk left for me. So as far as evidence go, I've got nothing else regarding that case from the past. However, now that Prosecutor Samani has retracted his confession, we'll have to re-deliberate the current case from scratch. Yes, the defense speaks the truth. Even though it is clear who the guilty party is. Queen Khura'in! The defense accuses you of the murder of Justice Minister Inga Khura'in. Oh, that's a long name. But do you have any evidence, defense? Evidence that will prove Khura'in was the killer? There is still one more avenue for us to explore, Mr. Justice. There is? What? Mr. Inga's final memories. In them, the minister killer posed as Dirk. Therefore, one must ask, how did the killer dispose of their disguise? In the ashes! Did we not discover? Hey, you're right. A lot of blood would have splattered onto the killer. So the blood-soaked clothes could have had to be dealt with somehow. So the blood-soaked clothes would have to be dealt with somehow. How did I get that tongue twist? If they're still around somewhere then... Huh. I was wondering what absurd idea you would concoct next. Clothing can be disposed of most anywhere. I doubt you could find them now. Then you don't know us very well. Your benevolence. Yes? On the day of your father's murder, you had been watching the court from 2 p.m.? Now, during that time, you saw Queen Khura'in, did you not? Yes, I did. I saw my mother entering the palace from the courtyard. But I was told not to mention it because it has nothing to do with my father's murder. Rafa! You would not dare! When the queen headed into the palace, did she have Dirk's clothes in her possession? No, she did not. So, maybe she disposed of them somewhere in the courtyard. The police did a thorough sweep of the area following the crime, but they did not find anything resembling Dirk's clothes. But you knew that already, did you? Yes, I admit no clothing was found. This is gonna be a long. So you admit that you were merely speculating, chasing phantoms and delusions of evidence that never existed. This makes no sense. Clothing doesn't just disappear like that. If Khura'in wasn't carrying any clothes, she must have got rid of them somewhere. Somewhere where she thought they'd never be found. Where they never be found, huh? The sarcophagus? I believe Dirk's clothes were hidden here. I'm looking it up. We're down to 3 strikes right now. That would never be found. I'm looking up. It's gotta be the freaking tomb. Even though it's the most obvious case right there. The tomb? You believe the clothing was hidden there? Yes, it's the only place it can be. Very well. Where in the tomb do you believe the clothes were hidden? The sarcophagus? Take that! Of course. That makes perfect sense. The clothes weren't simply hidden, they were returned to where they belonged. And by that you mean, like, my thought process is that no matter what anyone did, is go back to one place, the sarcophagus. The killer would have to get Dirk's clothes from somewhere. Since she killed Inga, she had to wear the clothes and then put it back there. Luckily, they were right there. Yes, of course. At the time of the minister's murder, Dirk's body was already in the sarcophagus, so the killer could have simply borrowed his clothes. Right, before the minister entered the tomb, the killer put on Dirk's clothes, and then hid behind the curtain above the sarcophagus. Hid above it. And after the minister was killed, Dirk's clothes were returned into his body. So what? This is still all speculation. We know not whether those clothes were actually used in the murder. Therefore, you cannot prove that they are somehow connected to this case. Objection! That's where you're wrong, but I believe you already knew that. What am I looking at? The bloodstain? Am I looking at the bloodstain right now? Blood on left arm. Take that! Like, we're at the final moments. This is not gonna process me anymore. I'm just reading it long. The bloodstains on Dirk's chest are no doubt the result of being shot by a minister. However, that doesn't explain everything. There's also some blood splatter extending from his left elbow to his abdominal area. I believe this blood splatter came from what? From what? Take that! If the killer wore these clothes during the murder, then the blood splatter come from Minister Inga. I had thought it was all Dirk's, but that makes sense. Yo, I'm just reading it along now. All thought process is all gone now. It's all gone in my brain. Only one way to be sure, though. Let's get those stains analyzed right away. Indeed. This may be the conclusive evidence we need to prove the Queen's guilt. You cannot prove it was I who hid those clothes. They could have very well be hidden by a third party. But could they really? I'd say the possibility of someone other than Khura'in hiding these clothes does not exist. That's all I've learned. That's all I've learned. It does not exist. Every time I click exist, I have to show proof. And every time I do not want proof, no, it's just not possible. Your Eminence, I recall you saying the following. What was it? Yo, like I said, all thought process is all gone now. I can't think anymore. I'm just playing the game. You may hate me on it, but it's all gone now. Oh. That was your own testimony. Word for word. Why, you insolent! Admit it. Only you could have hidden Dirk's clothes after they were used in the murder. And that means you are the one who killed Justice Minister Inga. An insignificant worm! You dare accuse me, the ruler of Khura'in! Do not think for one moment that such impudence will be... I'm afraid such arguments are invalid here in the Sacred Hall, Your Eminence. Because even monarchs aren't above the law. It's the end of the line for you, Queen Khura'in. Time to come down from the lofty throne and face justice.